All right, this is my practice impromptu speech. I'm going to start by going to the website and picking or generating the 5 topics that it's going to give me to choose from. So let me do that. Okay, so here we have Kindle, Monopoly, Understanding, Leap Years, and Diarrhea. We're going to do Kindle because I've actually done some research on that previously, and I'm comfortable with Kindle and what I want to talk about. I could actually kind of tie in understanding in that too. Kind of do a little 2 topic speech. So my 3 minutes prep is going to start right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my outline that we had in the video for the impromptu speech, and I'm going to look at, okay, so reveal topic. My topic's going to be Kindle, preview of main points. I'm going to do understanding brain differences in how readers comprehend information given through electronic readers and paper books. And then I'm going to do how that affects readers with specific examples. And then I don't think I'm going to do a main point. I just want to do the key differences in brain, and then I'm going to do how that's going to affect you as a reader. And then my transition into my review is going to be, so now I've explained to you the differences in how the brain computes electronic reading versus paper reading. So hopefully going forward you'll have a better understanding of which choice will be right for you. I think for my attention getter, I would like to incorporate something like, have you ever been reading an electronic book and trying to figure out, and struggled to focus and tried to figure out why that's so, and then kind of let that lead into my first main point, which is why that happens, and then my second main point would be why that's a problem, and then I'd transition to my preview of my main points, or my review of my main points, and recap the information that I gave. And then tying in understanding, I would say understanding how that's going to affect you, understanding how, understanding the differences between the two, and understanding what's best for you as a reader. I think that's good because I'm pretty confident in my topic. I've done a speech on Kindles before and the differences between Kindles and regular books and that kind of stuff. So I think I'm comfortable jumping into my speech. Let me just check here. Okay. So I'm going to start my speech right now. Okay. Have you ever been reading a Kindle or an electronic book and wondered why you're not retaining any of the information? You feel like you're sitting here and you're reading the topic and it's getting into your head, and then you go back and you try to analyze that topic and you try to remember this for maybe, a research paper or some type of analysis, literary analysis, and you can't remember any of the actual information that you learned. Well, I'm going to tell you why Kindles have a different response in our brain than regular paper books. So Kindles fail to trigger the spot in our brain that connects us empathetically or with the emotions in our brain to tie us to the content. So when you're reading a paperback book, it's actually triggering the spot in your brain that's going to allow you to have an emotional connection to the content. When you're reading a Kindle, they're finding that researchers are finding that with scans of the brain, that it's not allowing this to happen. So there was a study where researchers actually scanned the brains of patients reading Kindles, or there's plenty of electronic books on the market. So Kindle, any other e-reader, or the Nook, or iPad. And they took these brain scans and they compared them to people who were reading paperback books. And what they found was that the difference between the two was tremendous. So, when you see all of these electronic books on the market, that's great, and electronics have come a long way, but it's actually harmful. So the key difference that they found in these scans were that in people that were reading paperback books, your prefrontal lobe, which is the portion of your brain that is in charge of developing emotion, personality, all of that stuff, in paper reading, that's being lit up, and you are able to make an emotional connection to the story, to the books, to the character. And in that way, your brain is able to connect this to other memories, and so it is way easier for your brain to remember this information. When we're comparing that to people who are reading electronic books, this isn't the case. So that the prefrontal lobe, that we're looking at these brain scans, the prefrontal lobe isn't really lighting up. So there's not a lot of activity there. These readers are not able to connect this information to their own memories, and it makes it a lot more difficult for them to comprehend the information. So an example I think that I would like to share with you on this topic would be the use of this in the use of ebooks that they're trying to replace regular books with in elementary schools. So my brother is 10, and he is going through what none of my siblings have gone through, which is that they're trying to replace textbooks with iPads. So it's mandatory for you to have an iPad now that you bring into school, and it has all of your electronic books on it. And the issue that we're having in real time with him is that he's not retaining this information. And we've actually done a little case study of our own just in our household because of the research that we've done on this topic. And we're finding that when he reads paper books, he is much more able to connect with the information than he is when he is reading his iPad. And it's actually causing huge issues with how he is, his performance in school and his papers and all of that. And so it's a real problem. So that's my example, kind of what I want to leave you with. So if you have children, or if you even opt to buy your online books, like I've bought my textbooks through the Kindle on my computer and tried to study that way, and because it's a lot less expensive than textbooks. But really, if you're someone that struggles with comprehension in the first place, electronic books are not the way to go. You're going to want to purchase a textbook, and hopefully going forward, that's an easier choice for you because your comprehension levels will be much higher. Yeah, thanks.